could flip back around, or like not really?
No, but I heard that it's easier until your water breaks for them to flip.
Probably.
And then once that happens, it's
well, because there's not as much fluid in there.
Yeah, but they didn't actually. I mean, he was
down.
He was head down, and then like in this direction, so legs over here, spine and head. So
head, body, head.
Yeah,
just kidding.
You should be good to go.
He was head down the last two, so
yeah.
Hopefully he stays put.
Yeah.
Just try something new.
I should keep doing all those spinning babies things just to keep them down.
Yeah.
How common is it for a baby to flip around like that? You know?
No, I wonder what the statistics are on breech babies.
Is that what it's called? Breech babies?
When they're like not
wild.
head first, yeah.
I was probably a breech baby, I imagine.
I think they say it's only like 3% or something, right?
Oh, okay.
Like,
that's not that much.
Maybe that wasn't the right statistic, but I think I saw that like 97% of babies are in position by 37 weeks or so.
I imagine if you're going into birth early or labor early, it would be different, but probably full term.
Yeah, 1 out of every 25 full-term births will be in the breech position.
So
4%?
Yeah.
Roughly 4%.
Does it still count breached?
Kara's the engineer, she knows.
Face up.
I don't think so.
I think people still give birth. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And except they come out kind of like bruised and stuff.
Yeah, because a lot of pressure on their face.
Wow. Yeah. The 3 most common reasons for fetal death are malformations, prematurity. Okay, all right.
I think we need to look at that.
I thought you were going the route of why they're breech.
I'm sorry. I did too. No, when I was reading it, okay. To be clear, I didn't know what it was going to say before I read it. I'm sorry. I thought it was going to go into a breech baby scenario.
Yeah. I swear, if you would have said like placenta previa, I would have slapped you.
That's why I paused. Oh, okay. And I was like, oh, no. All right, all jokes. No, I paused because I was like, oh man, this is not what I thought.
I did go the rabbit hole on that one, but
you did?
Very, very rare, yeah.
Yeah, I don't
because they know what to do nowadays. They don't make you go into labor.
Like this is an issue, so if you bleed, you know what to do.
Yeah, there's like no.
Whereas back in the day, can you imagine? That'd be scary.
No.
Can you imagine? I can't imagine.
That was like one of like the top.
I bet.
Like causes of death in labor was the placenta thing.
I believe it.
But the crazy part is like the babies normally survived.
Oh, the mother that would
because it's whenever. So like, let's say I were to start bleeding or whatever.
Yeah.
It would be my blood. It wouldn't be the baby.
Yeah.
Like babies are very like much unaffected.
Huh.
Like with the bleeding.
Yeah.
Well, what if your well, I guess that's not your placenta like coming off.
I don't know what it is actually. I think it's just the placenta aggravating like the cervix or something.
All right. Nice. I've got a question for y'all. So, do you guys ever get? This is not. Okay, I'm sorry. Don't look at the screen. Holy crap! The screen is not what we're looking at today. It says reunification camps. That's a whole nother rabbit hole. Those do exist in California, by the way. Crazy. Do you guys ever get unsolicited advice from your parents? And what is it? And I don't mean strictly, pregnancy. I mean like all at all. I mean like overall. You don't have to raise your hand. This is a podcast. Okay.
If we started or not, because you didn't do the intro.
This is just a question to get us going.
Okay.
All right.
He always starts randomly,
everyone
right?
relax. Yeah, we're getting into it. I gotta have this. Yeah, we gotta.
I guess so.
You guess so?
I feel like everybody gives advice at some point.
Make sure the mic's close. Yeah, I guess I just mean okay. What I mean by unsolicited advice, maybe I should specify unwanted and unsolicited advice.
Like, do you mean like
forced
you
advice?
ask
I guess
them not to give you advice on something,
And
but
they
they
give
give
it
it to you anyways.
Dang, you guys are so good. No, I just mean like, do you get annoyed by this crap? Holy crap! Like any unsolicited advice?
No,
really.
Like
that's what I mean by you guys are good. Yeah, I would sometimes get annoyed by it.
That's part of families that you can just say things to them and doesn't matter. they can't get annoyed or they can't disown you. if
Okay,
they
so
get
you know,
annoyed.
you know how I asked
Yeah,
y'all. What do you
that's
think,
true.
Kira? Same thing.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. I
Wow,
mean, there's
man,
always
okay.
something, but like,
Yeah.
I don't know. If I don't like it, I just roll my eyes and move
Yeah,
on.
Oh
you just
my
let 'em
gosh.
know you don't like it, and that's
Mm.
that.
Like, okay.
All right. Well, yeah, I asked you guys a question in Snap a while back of the how often do you call your mom and or does she call you, right? And you most of y'all said 50-50.
Lately,
Yeah.
it's been a lot more my mom
Um,
calling me.
That's awesome, except
Due
for
to the
Adamo, right?
Situation.
Yes, it's
Situational.
situational. for
Yeah, yeah.
sure.
That's true. For me, I don't really call my mom that often, but I do. It's like once a month, maybe, right? And my mom never calls me, which I guess is normal. Now that I'm finding out, apparently that's normal. However, the unsolicited advice part of it. So John,
Getting that.
yeah,
I
right.
don't think that's
John,
normal.
that's not normal. Okay,
No.
okay, all
You
right.
all said 50-50.
Well,
you get normal
Adamo,
from that.
Adamo said, and he was the only
Oh.
boy that responded, and Adamo said it's basically all me, you
Yeah.
know.
But how often does he call them?
And so
Not often.
Oh, so they just
I'm
don't
on
talk
his
much.
case a lot about it. Probably like every few weeks
Oh.
or
That's me.
once
Go
a
Adamo.
month.
you know, you just don't think about it all
Wow,
the time.
okay.
And
I
also,
talk to
like,
my mom almost every day.
Yeah, same.
that's wild to me. I could not. What do you talk about?
Literally anything.
Yeah.
Well, I know they gossip all the time. Missy and Kim.
Yeah.
I loved it. Honestly, it's amazing. Hearing all the new stuff that's going down, it's so good. But anyway, John calls me, dude. And John is my mom's
Fiance.
partner. You know, technically, I guess
they
they're
were
fiance. Whatever. They've been engaged for like 2 years now.
Engaged but never gonna get married.
Apparently.
Yeah.
And you know what? Their age, I don't really care.
Isn't there
Which
some
one?
like
You know?
financial and like legal stuff that is the problem?
You know, there is a lot of stuff there that I could unpack.
yeah.
However, I will say this. John calls me and he's like, "Hey, man." I'm like, "Hey." He actually texted me and said, "Hey, give me a call when you can," which I'm like, you can just call me. Like, you can just actually call me and I'll probably answer and be like, "Hey, what's up?" But he's like, call me when you can. Forgot he texted me. So the next day I'm like, oh crap, call him. He's like, "Hey, man." I'm like, "Hey, dude." And he's like, "You know, your mom worries about you." And I'm like,
Aw.
okay, it's a nice sentiment. It is very nice, you know?
Mhm.
But basically it's him calling me and saying, "Hey, you need to call your mom."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "This is great." And I'm like, you know, just like we're talking right now, I'm a phone call away. You know, you guys can call me as well. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be, you know, an
Yeah.
asshole here, but like also, and I will obviously call her. It's not like I'm not going to call her because of that. I'm not going to be that freaking petty about it. However, it was frustrating me at the moment.
Mhm.
And then I just sent it in Snap. I was like, "How often do you guys?" You know? Yeah. I was like,
I do
"Ah."
think though there's certain family members of mine that won't initiate calls because they're like, oh, they're young, they're married, we don't want to like interrupt, bother them, and or whatever.
Yeah.
Even though I've told them it's not a bother, you
Yeah.
can call anytime. So that,
Do you ever feel like that's an excuse, or do you think it's real?
I mean, I do find it. I have gotten frustrated by it before because it's like, you know, it's a two-way street,
Yeah.
but it's fine. I just
Right.
know I need to remember to call those people.
Well, my thing is too is like me and my mom have a relationship that I think we both understand, and so that's why it just surprises me when this kind of stuff happens. I'm like, you know, that we have this, like it's a, I don't know how to say this.
Well,
Distant,
it's
you know?
somebody from. I mean, John's technically outside of your family,
And he may just be looking in and he's like, "This doesn't look good," you know?
right?
And then he's like, "Your brother
But
calls
then-
her." I'm like, "Okay, dude. Okay, dude." They have fights all the time, bro.
Yeah.
Anyway, whatever.
I think y'all's relationship is
It's
is a
difficult.
little
Yeah, it's difficult.
easier. for you and
Oh
your
yeah,
mom.
oh yeah, it is easier. That's what I'm saying. We keep it. It's pretty like we keep it
You have a
normal.
good thing
you know,
going.
easy. Exactly. This sounds terrible. This is me
It does
justifying
sound
me not
terrible.
calling her.
I
Yes.
know,
Okay.
it
All right.
sounds awful.
You
All
should
right.
definitely give her a call.
I'm gonna call her. Thank you, Michelle. Yeah, I'm gonna call my mom.
I thought one of the best points it made was that like the next phase of capitalism doesn't need to be adding in socialist policies.
Against the grain.
This is for us. This is for the boys.
Oh yeah. What is your medical background?
You got that new gene edit? Just CRISPR me up, bro.
me some sugar, baby.
This is for the fly guys.
This is a complete disaster. What's up, guys? This is the Against the Grain podcast, and today is another very special episode. We have the ladies on again. Yeah! Everyone give a big shout out because we had some fan mail for these guys, and they loved y'all, honestly. So, 3 people total, but still, they loved y'all.
Hey, that's more than I
They were all girls, and they all were just like, we need more of this. There's not enough podcasts that do this, talk about things like this. And any kind of traditional value, no matter what it is, isn't really talked about. So that's what we do here on Against the Grain. Welcome to the show. If you haven't already, please smash the like button, give us a follow, subscribe, all of the above. You know the drill. And last but not least, let's get into it. First thing I want to talk about is this research that I brought up. So I don't know if you guys want to dive right into this or not. Kind of up to y'all. But I was going to talk about the research on the Parkinson's disease. So it's the University of Helsinki that found this out. And so where is Helsinki? Do you guys know? Where is Helsinki? I thought it was Russia, but maybe it's not.
Norway or something.
Oh, Norway. That's a good.
Finland.
Finland.
Okay, so Finland. So not Russia. So that's good. So we're on there's a positive note, okay? And for those listening, this research is basically showing the findings that they have maybe found the cure for Parkinson's disease through the actual gut biome. So, so the findings indicate that specific strands of, I'm not going to try to pronounce that. I am, Desilvibrio bacteria are likely to cause Parkinson's disease. The disease is primarily caused by environmental factors, that is, environmental exposure to this bacteria, and not genetics. Only a small share, roughly 10% of Parkinson's disease is genes, says Professor Perseris.
So now, do different countries have higher rates of Parkinson's then?
That's a good point. I'm not sure. The principal finding of the group's recently published study was that these strains in patients with Parkinson's disease cause aggregation. Now, here's the thing. You would think like, oh, this isn't it. How many people did they actually study? I want to say they studied a good amount of people. It was in the thousands. Oh, sorry. There are currently 8 million patients. No, that's not what I wanted to know. I read something that said it was like thousands of people they studied. But the other point is they have another study that was followed up by this where Chinese doctors actually agreed with them.
Wow.
Where did I find that? Hold on.
Does it say in there like how
I don't want to look up
get
my mail. What the
this
heck?
bacteria in your gut?
It doesn't. That's my problem.
No.
So my problem is that this article, this small, tiny little article, comes from here. Let's go here. Boom, 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 boom. Well, it comes from another article. So I'm going to go to the original article. This is the actual study. And so the actual study was done by people on the top, and I might put it on the screen. I'm not going to try to say all those. They were done by fecal samples. That's weird.
Well,
it makes sense, right?
That
It's a
makes
gut.
sense. Yeah, gut
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
It's shown to be associated with Parkinson's, but where does it come from?
I
Yeah,
don't
where
know.
that's
I'd
a good
love to
point.
hear that.
Yeah.
That is like super interesting.
Yeah, interesting. Does any of y'all, all y'all's family have Parkinson's?
My grandpa has Parkinson's.
Okay, what's it all about? What does it actually do to you?
It's like a neurological disorder. So I think there's like a lot of different symptoms, but his is a lot like memory, fog, the tremors is like one of the big ones. And like trouble walking, like he can stand there, but it like takes him a while to get started. And then once he's started, he's good. You know what I mean?
Oh, the tremors, like the shaking. Okay,
Well,
right?
that is one, and then the walking too. There's actually a term for it. I'm a nurse. I should know the term, but I forget.
So this is not what I thought it
yeah.
was, by the way, guys. I'm kind of mad that I even brought this up. The study included 20 participants, which I guess is great, but come on, 10 PD patients and 10 healthy individuals.
Oh. Well,
That's-
did they?
Isolation.
You said it was followed up by a different study, though.
Yes,
I wonder if they went
yes.
into more like detail with more patients.
I need to
don't
save-
know.
20 is not enough.
it's
Yeah,
not enough
20
at
is
all.
not
I need to
enough.
save these freaking rabbit holes, though, dude. It's not enough at all.
Especially in Helsinki. They're like all the
Helsinki.
same. There's not a lot of diversity. So
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
Yeah, you probably
I thought it
need
was
to,
Chinese
like,
doctors, but maybe that like
pull
later, but
people
maybe not.
from various parts of the world to
Mhm.
study. I would think. It's a very specific region.
Okay, you know what? Apparently, there's a huge deal on ScienceDaily.com or whatever. That's where I found this thing.
Yeah.
So, dang, that sucks. Wow.
Well, maybe there's something to
Yeah.
it. I mean,
You know, we'll see.
you got to start somewhere. So
It'd be crazy if that was true. However, yeah, 20 people, man.
Yeah.
Had to check back on it.
Yeah. I would look into the other
That
study.
freaking sucks.
What
What other study?
well, you said
The
it was
Chinese
followed up by the
one.
Chinese.
Yeah, I
one.
did, and yes, I did say it was that way. Yes,
Yeah.
I need to save my rabbit trails, my rabbit holes that I go down. Like save all the tabs, not just the first initial one. That's
I'm
what I
over
ended
here
up doing.
thinking, like, man, if I could just like tell my grandpa not to eat like something that has a bacteria in it, like
That's
he
one
won't
thing.
have
Like,
Parkinson's anymore. Like that just seems like so crazy to me, especially since it's like a neurological disorder and not anything related to the gut.
no, I agree with you. Yeah, this was saying. So I can't find.
I
I'm not
guess
going to find the.
everything's connected in some sort of way. So
It is. There was. Sorry, I'm reading it now. I'm trying to find that part where it said it goes to the brain because it made that connection. But
Oh.
whatever. Yeah. Anyway, guys. Okay, we're gonna move on. That was great. That was awesome. All right, failed. Yeah. Life updates. Anybody? Huh? You guys want to talk about that? Give us some. Oh wow. What was that?
Do you know? Or no?
oh wait,
I had a
what?
terrible life update.
Oh no!
Oh no.
I thought you were referring to like baby stuff. I didn't
Oh,
know we were
no,
having
no.
Oh. Okay.
Even though the baby will be involved for part of it, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
So on
Hey Michelle, bring the
Wednesday?
mic
Sorry.
up. You can bring it up to you. Yeah, bring it back to you. There you go. Awesome.
Wednesday, I
Yeah.
had to go get my driver's license updated
Okay.
to Texas driver's
Oh.
license.
fair.
Okay.
And so it expired on my birthday. So a week before Wednesday, it was expired.
Right.
But it should be no big deal. I Googled it. Texas has like a 2-year grace period of when you can like get your driver's license redone or whatever.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
So I was like, okay, that's fine. So Andrew drove me to get to the DMV to get my license, giving them all my paperwork. Looked terrible that day too, because that was like, it was an 8 a.m. appointment
At
I
the
was
DMV.
at the DMV. I was up late the night before, and I was like, you know what? I never do this, but I'm gonna sleep in my makeup because I'm not gonna have time. And I
Whoa.
I looked terrible. I saw the picture and I was like, oh no, it's fine. So it turns out that's only if you have a Texas license originally.
Uh-oh.
If you're coming in from another state, it does not apply.
Oh no.
And you have to retake your permit test and your driver's test. So currently, all I have is my permit. And I can't, they're like, you can drive with the licensed person in the car. I guess I'm back to having a curfew.
Oh my
And
gosh,
so now-
curfew. That's
So when
hilarious.
can you take the license?
So
test?
they gave me like 2 dates. One of the dates was like on my due date.
Good. Yeah.
So I'm like,
that'll
okay.
work.
And then the other one was the end of July. So,
Oh my
What?
gosh.
well,
we'll
I guess
see.
you need to get the cones out and start parallel
I
parking.
know. I have
Do
a
they
parallel
test that
park.
here?
Yes.
Yes.
I Googled it and
Oh,
they
Yes.
do,
good luck.
unfortunately.
Don't hit the cone, and you have to
Good
be.
luck.
You have
I
to
was
be within
panicking.
like a few inches of the curb too.
Gosh.
Yeah.
You can't just
I'm
like
glad I
parallel
did not
park
have to
and
do
be
that.
like
But I
2
think-
feet away.
You can like fail one thing, right?
I have no idea.
Yes, I failed the parallel parking.
So, I mean,
Oh,
that's,
okay.
I'm just
I
taking
feel
that
like
as
they
my
probably
thing.
give you a pretty
Yeah.
generous gap too.
But I was like panicking. She's like, go sit on the first computer, take your test. I'm like, I didn't study. I haven't taken my permit test in
But you
over
passed,
a decade.
right?
Yeah, you can get 9 questions wrong. I got 7 and I was sweating. Like, oh my gosh.
oh no.
Well, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, and right at a very poor time too.
And the test is
Yikes.
definitely different from down here than it was in Jersey.
Really? Like the
Yeah.
written part?
The written part was.
No. See, it was so long. I don't even remember taking it.
There was only 30 questions
not that
on
long.
this one.
Oh, okay.
Let's,
you
let's
I don't know,
say it
9?
seems long, honestly.
I know, it doesn't seem right.
Did you get the little? Did you get the little handbook?
No, they just told me to sit down. I was panicking. And the lady was smirking the whole time. I thought, surely
She's
this
probably
is some
laughing.
sick joke.
Oh my
And it
gosh!
wasn't. So yeah.
She probably just that sucks. She
Well,
loves
you
doing
know,
this.
Yeah.
we've had so like just in this area, so many people from out of state moving in. Like, I'm sure she sees it all the time and just like
so.
probably gets a kick out of it.
Especially from New Jersey.
But I had a Nebraska license, so she's like, you know,
really?
you could have renewed it, but I'm like, I can't because it was in
Yeah.
Nebraska.
You also
and I was
talk
in-
like you're from Nebraska.
I
So I think
do.
that, well, yeah, Midwest, is that what that is? That's, see? Yeah, it's
Just
Nebraska.
a little bit.
Thank you.
I have
Thank
a
you.
Midwest accent.
You
a little
literally
bit. I
just
mean,
now,
yeah.
when you said it just now, literally
Maybe
it
the
just
way-
happened.
Maybe the way you say Nebraska. I don't know.
Nebraska, and
Yeah,
also
what'd you
some other
say?
things. We've talked about this. We've
I've
talked about
never
this.
heard anybody tell me I have a Midwest
Mom?
accent.
Yeah, the way. Yes. There's some words
I see
there.
where you're getting it.
Thank you.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's not crazy. It's not huge. You know, it's not a crazy accent, but I don't think it's New Jersey, whatever the heck that is.
Oh, see, I
You
feel
probably
like
just
you
have a big
definitely have that.
mix-up. of
Italian
it
or
because
whatever.
You've lived in so many places.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I guess so. I've never heard that before.
So when you said stuff, she's probably like, "Well, welcome to Texas." You know, probably ready to freaking go out here. That's crazy.
So yeah, Andrew's my chauffeur for the next month, which
Hey,
I'm
as
not, I'm
if
not
he
mad
wouldn't
about.
be
Going to
anyway.
Yeah.
But now, if he's ever gone,
Oh, yeah, that's a
Now
problem.
you'll just drive and it'll be okay.
Who's gonna? Come on. I feel like
it'll be the
Not
one
like
time
he's
I
going
get pulled
anywhere
over.
in the next month and a well, maybe next weekend.
It'll be fine.
Oh my gosh.
next weekend.
Yeah, right.
Allowed to talk about
Yeah.
it? No.
I think he's just,
No, he's just like
going away for next weekend.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Cool.
just kind of
All right.
pushing it a little close, you know. Just
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Nice. Okay. Cool. Life updates. Kara. Spill.
Same old, same old.
What does that mean? Really?
Nothing has changed. I mean, I'm just working and existing. Yeah. More pregnant than I was last time, but that's not really any shock.
You know what you do well? Keep drama out of your life.
This is true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you've talked about this before, like how you will talk to somebody and like you're like, how do you get yourself in these situations, or why are you so?
You probably
Why are
think
you
that of
in
me.
this? Why are you in this drama? And you'll think about that to yourself, like how do they not get through life okay or whatever?
Yeah,
You know?
sometimes I do.
It's weird. I think it's just an amazing ability, like it's an emotional stability, if you will. Right? How
I
would you
think
say
I
that?
almost have to, or I might go crazy, like because I have to plan
What?
things so much. Like
Yeah.
I don't let myself get in those pickles.
Those pickles.
Well, because if I do, I'll freak out. Like if whenever something happens and I have to deal with it, that is drama.
Yeah.
I'm like, ugh, stressed.
You know what's funny though? It's like Jordan's the same way though.
Oh, okay.
He's like has to have things planned too.
Yeah, but
Yeah, and it's
he
like
doesn't.
gotten more so that way since me, I
Yeah,
think. So.
yeah.
It has for sure, and also he's not as good at it as Kara. Kara's
No.
amazing at planning,
Yeah, she is.
and so when Jordan does it, I think maybe it's too perfectionist. So like something will definitely go wrong almost every time, and so then he freaks out, right?
We talk a
And so
lot
that's kinda how
about
that
how we
goes.
have to we unintentionally like micromanage other people's situations. Like we see something like, okay, say we're all planning to do something and like it's in the
Oh,
Snapchat
okay.
or whatever. And we're like, well, what did you say? You said this. Like, well, then I need to say this because of this reason, X, Y, Z. And we're like, well, they're probably not thinking about this part of it. So we need to make sure they know this situation with the hours of the place or whatever.
You
And
know
like,
what?
it doesn't even involve
I
us. Like,
appreciate
so half the
that
time.
so
like,
much because if it were like left to me alone to plan anything, it would just it wouldn't work.
However,
but it's like
you know
too
what?
much. Like we'll be talking, and Jordan's like, "Oh, they were gonna go to the driving range, but I had to tell him the hours and blah blah blah." And I'm like,
yeah, exactly.
"What are we doing? Like people can figure this out on their own. Like why do we like stress ourselves out over other people's situations?"
So I
So
take
we
back
have to,
what I
like,
said.
Stop ourselves.
Regular people call that manipulation. First of all, I'm kidding. I'm
But
kidding.
it kind of is. We're like, why are we worrying about this? Like, sometimes it's good, but like, we just need to let things go.
What's interesting is
Yeah.
that we probably
Like,
have
we're
no
all
idea.
adults. Like, I think anybody of us, we can all handle it.
We would have no idea about that, first of all, unless you said something. But it makes sense, like that. Yeah, you guys are stressing yourself out. Like we'll get to somewhere, and Jordan's kind of flustered a little
Yeah,
bit, and you're
yeah.
like, "What happened to you, man? You just had a car ride over here. What happened?" You know? And he's like, "Oh, I'm good." Like Jordan,
no, but
bro.
he's not good. We're not good. We
But
probably
he's not.
are-
That's
We're
funny.
probably worried about something one of you guys is gonna do or not gonna do
Yeah.
because you just don't know. But we're like, should we tell him? Like, but it doesn't even matter.
Doesn't
like,
even matter. Yeah.
That's the main thing. It's like none of it's ever a big
That's-
deal either, and yet
Yeah.
we're still like so stressed about it.
So everyone has their thing.
A baby in the mix will probably force you to.
Kind of ease up a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah, I think that'd
Not
be good
that
for
I,
us, you
I
know,
think
I mean,
it's perfectly fine. You could be like us who don't plan anything and just.
I feel like it could be helpful for us. 'cause
I
then
know,
You're like,
see?
yeah, you're helping the group out, letting us know what times and everything. Otherwise, the rest of us are just standing there like, what's going on?
Yeah, sometimes I think, like, I
Or-
personally rely on it too much. And then I'm like, I hope Kara doesn't get mad that I'm like, man, this is amazing. She plans
Like me
everything.
specifically, who Nolan doesn't communicate anything to me until like we're about to leave out the door, and then I'm like, "Where are we going?" I didn't know any of this.
Yeah,
So
to the moon.
yeah.
So, yeah, life update from you then, I guess. Missy?
No, nothing really. Just
What?
working and
It's been a whole month, at least, since this podcast, right?
yeah, I guess. I don't know. I had an appointment this past week, and it went okay. And I'm getting another ultrasound in 3 weeks to check the placenta.
Hmm.
And hopefully it has gone away. Yeah.
Disappeared.
Well, not disappeared, but just out of the way. It just needs to get lost. It needs to like move out of the way so we
Right.
can just go on.
I see. Okay.
But
So the other chick that I've talked about with you guys is still in the hospital, still monitoring.
oh yeah.
So she's still
in the
good.
hospital?
She's
So
at
how long has she been
29,
there?
29, I
Oh,
think.
well, that's
almost 30.
good.
So this is, I mean, we're like, this is a milestone. It was
Does she have
24.
a
She went in at 24.
diagnosis?
So what do you mean?
Like,
Like,
why?
what was wrong?
Oh, why it's causing the nutrition thing?
Well, what is the
Nutrition.
Supposedly-
problem to
yeah.
begin
What's
with?
the nutrition? Thing
Well,
you're
like the
talking about?
placenta's not sending enough nutrition, and at any
Oh,
point
okay.
it could backtrack, is what they're saying.
Backtrack.
Like it could
Oh.
stop giving the baby stuff,
Oh,
and so they have
okay.
to be ready
Ready.
to take the baby out if that happens.
So she's been in there for 6 weeks.
Since 24. So yeah.
Holy crap.
Holy cow!
The hospital.
I
Can you
know,
imagine?
No,
No, that
And
sounds
what I don't-
terrible.
What I get the closely monitoring thing. The anarchist side of me is like hates medical industry and hospitals. So I'm like, dude, can you like look at the freaking money they're getting right now from closely monitoring this person? But honestly, it's worth it. You know what I mean? Like, right?
Yeah.
How do y'all see that? Y'all see that as it's a child, you make it happen, right?
Yeah.
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 Okay,
I
okay.
think in her case, like, I mean, you do what you have to do.
No, 100%. I
Does
just
she have any other kids or?
no. This is the first
Well,
kid. Yeah.
that's good.
I
I
won't go
mean,
any
that
further
would
on
be
that,
really
but yeah, that's the
hard.
first kid. Yeah, for sure.
Ugh,
Mm.
man.
I guess I don't know enough about that issue to know if there's other things you could watch for at home.
See, I'm not sure. I
Like,
have no idea.
I mean, I
Yeah.
just don't know.
It
How do you
sounds
do
like
that,
the
right?
Other symptoms that you need to be on.
IUGR, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is that?
Intrauterine growth.
It's a pretty-
restriction.
Oh,
Is it
I don't
a
know.
growth
I haven't
restriction
I haven't
by
heard
any
that
definition,
that
or-
It
acronym.
sounds
There's
like
other
it.
placenta issues. I don't know the
Yeah.
names of them though.
Yeah.
Like-
There's one where the placenta like grows into your uterus.
Ugh.
I don't know if that's called like placenta accreta or something.
Oh.
ACCRETA. And like you basically like have to have most of the time, not all the time, have to have a hysterectomy like right after birth because it's like attached to your uterus.
Oh,
Like,
and
they
it doesn't
can't-
come out.
No, because it like
Mm.
grows into it.
Well, that's,
That's
horrible.
bad. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
I don't know, but I don't know. Maybe she has that.
Or there's the thing where you only have like two veins or whatever,
Yeah.
or
Mm, yes.
one vein, one artery.
I was
versus
like,
the
I
two.
don't
Well,
know.
you know, all this placenta talk is amazing. I love it. I really do. Well, speaking of kids, though, I have one question for you guys, and it's very basic. It's just if you ever, like, when you were in college or even before that, did you already know you would have kids? Like, was it always a thing in your head? Like,
I mean,
you
I
know
always
what?
hoped and
Gonna have
assumed
kids.
that I would.
You
Like, I-
hoped and assumed. Those.
Yeah,
I'm looking for the key
there's-
words
you
here.
know,
This is.
there's- I always, if everything went according to plan, that was the plan, was to have kids someday. But
So it
you
wasn't.
know.
Oh wow.
Mhm.
I mean, how do you know? It's not really.
Yeah, I mean, first I had to
You can't
find
know
for
somebody.
sure.
To
What do you
have
mean,
a
know for
kid
sure?
with, and then
If you're gonna
go
have
from
kids,
there.
that's not the question. The question was, did you ever have a moment where you actually decided, okay, I'm gonna have kids if I can, or was it always, I'm gonna have kids if I can? Like, you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm
no, I get
saying?
what you're
Like,
saying.
there's a moment in guys' lives, I feel like, well, maybe I'm just weird, but where you have to decide that you're like, you know what? Yes, you know.
I've always wanted kids, even when I was a
kid.
child.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's why I'm asking, because it's interesting, like the innate,
Yeah.
desire, I guess, or whatever.
But I feel like that's like a girl thing.
think
Like
it's a girl
like,
thing,
like,
yeah.
obsessed with baby dolls and
Oh,
I think
yeah.
with men,
couldn't
it's
wait.
more of like, can I picture myself having kids with this person? You know what I mean?
Whoa, that's a
Like,
good point. It's a really solid point, actually.
I don't know. Like, I
And
don't,
that's why it's so tough as a man if you're not in a relationship or anything. You're like kind of like, you know what I mean? You're on the fence, I
Yeah.
guess. While
So
I know
toxic.
that I wouldn't say. Okay, wow. Dang, shots fired. Pow, pow, pow. While I know, gosh. Savage. While I know that I want kids, I also have these thoughts every once in a while where I'm like, will I have kids? Will I not? That type of thing. I've gotten over that now. Now I'm like, obviously, yes, I'm gonna have kids, when I can. But yeah, I think you're right, Missy. It's a decision you make whenever you
Yeah.
actually have that
I mean,
relationship. and
even
everything.
like, yeah, of course, I've wanted kids since I was little. It was always something I wanted, but I can't say like I had like the desire to have a kid until, I met Nolan and you see like the
Mhm.
future and
Yeah.
then that
yeah.
makes it all
yeah.
more real. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. Yeah. Next thing. I met a girl. So check this out, guys. This is a good story. This is hilarious. This hasn't really gone anywhere yet because
So before you get into it, though, does like the husbands have they already heard all of this and like
this
we
story.
just-
No,
they don't.
this is
Okay.
a new, fresh story.
Wow.
This is a
Okay.
fresh story.
I
This
feel
is
privileged.
what's it called? This is what do they call that? Just in. Wow, I couldn't think of the freaking. Let me search this tweet that actually worked out for me. We'll see. Hold on.
That actually worked out.
Check
for
this
you?
out. This is hilarious.
What does
I hope
mean?
that I can find this tweet.
I've never, I've never really understood Twitter. Do you guys use Twitter?
No.
I
Jordan
never
uses Twitter.
I think
to
I
look.
had it because my friends like all at one time created all my social media for me because I just still didn't have it. And they were like, "No, we're doing it." So they made like a Twitter, an Instagram, and a Facebook. And I think I got on there like a couple times, but I never really understood the.
It's hard to follow.
know.
Yeah. I created
fun
one
of
to
it.
enter a giveaway once, and then I just
Yeah,
never logged on again.
I'm sure my account is floating around somewhere, but I don't know
Okay, here we go. Ready?
what's on it.
All right. Her name's Shelby. I'm shouting her out because this is
okay.
gonna be great.
Okay.
Shelby Gree. Shelby Gree. I don't know if that's how you
Shelby
say
has
it.
a check mark, so she's pretty.
So check this out.
Wow.
She has
Okay.
Do you know
24.
her?
No, I may know. Anyway, 24.6 thousand followers. Right?
Unless you
Is that
So-
all it takes for a check mark?
You pay for it now. By the
Yeah.
way,
You pay
Oh
for
my
the
Yeah.
check
gosh.
mark?
you pay for it now. It's
I
Twitter
thought
Blue.
that was just on Instagram, but it's on both. Wow.
It's called Twitter Blue. Instagram, you don't pay for it. You do?
I think on Instagram you do.
Because I've asked for. I've asked for. I've definitely asked for it because you can request.
We're not even going to take your money.
Can I request to be verified? And they're like,
No.
1,300 followers. Who is this chode?
I thought you had to have like thousands and
I
thousands.
thought you had to have a lot more than
So
that.
check this out. Ready, guys? Time to put my Twitter to good use. Think The Bachelor, but wholesome is what she says.
Can these words get bigger? Am I the only one?
Yeah, no, I
Oh,
can't see
no,
it.
I got you, guys.
The light too. I have it like there you go.
Oh,
Is that
That's
good?
much
Can y'all
better.
read
There
that?
we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Time to put my Twitter to good use. Think The Bachelor, but wholesome. I have 2 single friends. Dating apps are full of lefty soy boys and harlots. Taking matters into my own hands on their behalf. First friend, 25-year-old female, Protestant. This is where that came from, by the way.
Oh.
Second friend, 30-year-old male Catholic. I didn't get their permission to do this, so that's all the info you're going to get initially. I can confirm that they are great people. They are 2 of my best friends, and I don't have weirdo friends. Who would? I don't. That doesn't mean I believe you. Please submit your applications via DM. Requirements are must be based, live in Texas, traditional values, want children, etc. Vaxxed, leftists, and moderates need not apply. Before you ask, no, they won't date each other because no Catholic Protestant mixing. So please take that into account when sending your applications. Your application will be reviewed by the respective friends. Please don't yell at me if they aren't interested. I am simply the messenger here. Yeah.
Wow.
So
I've
check this
never
out.
Seen something like this before.
I DM'd her.
Really? Of course
Yes.
you did.
Of course I did. I was
Why
like,
am I
oh, really?
surprised?
This is hilarious. I'm going to follow along. I don't ever think that.
Wait, is
This-
this here? Like in
Check
like-
this out. Just listen.
Oh my
Just
gosh.
listen.
This
Look
is
at
actually
your
So
message.
this is my message.
interesting.
Bro, it's got to be an application, right? I was like, first of all, am I supposed to have these on deck for like dating applications? for like resumes of a job. Is this supposed to happen? And then I said all my stuff, all my info, right? Laid it out there. This is literally my resume, right? I'm not gonna read all of it. Said all these things, go to Paradox Church, all this stuff, right? And then I told her about the podcast. Pretty awesome, pretty goofy, whatever. And then I said, look at this. I put a signature. Single dude. That's me. And then she's like, it's a top applicant for sure. And I was like, oh, how the turntables. I'm 28.
She
asked.
live in Fort Worth.
Yes, dude, check this out. Yeah, dude, it's crazy. Fort Worth. And then I'm like, wow, this is awesome. And then I was like, she might know where Paradox is after all this crap. We talked about that. And she's like, yeah, she does. I asked her. I'm like, awesome. So that's where we're at. That was June 8th. So I'm not sure where this is going to go, if
man.
anywhere. But
It's been a week.
it's been a week, right? So I'm like, I'm not, obviously, dude, I'm not holding my breath for this. However, it was hilarious that she even responded.
Yeah.
Because I'm used to like, okay, I do a lot of cold DMs, not to girls, not like sliding into DMs, but like for businesses.
Yeah.
Like literally today, I sent a
Yeah.
few out like, hey, I do video, check this out, whatever. And I'm used to not getting responses a lot of times. That's how that works.
No, that's actually
But
like
this is
kinda
crazy,
cool.
right? Wouldn't that be
Yeah.
interesting?
That
It'd be
would
so
be
weird.
super interesting. Like, talk about a really cool story. Like, if something were to ever like transpire. Like,
Now, conspiracy theories, y'all ready? Putting on my tinfoil hat.
okay.
A new chick just showed up at my city group
Oh.
right after this.
Oh.
And she's never been to the church, which the way she talked here it seemed like she had never been to Paradox. However, she went to my city group,
So hold on.
Yeah, I'm like,
What
what's going on
if-
here,
Give
dude?
a name here, right?
No.
What if they're doing
No.
like some sort of like blind date kind of thing? She's like, hey, there's this guy
I don't
goes
know.
to this church in Fort Worth. Like, his name's Skye. There
How would
can't
she
be
have
very
found
many
your
Skies.
group without going to church?
Yeah, that's interesting, right? I think it'd be, for me, I'm very public. So I think it would be possible somehow. I'm not sure, though. Obviously, I said tinfoil hat conspiracy theory,
Yeah.
on purpose, because it would be funny, right?
It would be fun.
However, I'm probably gonna follow up her, to be honest with you, and be like, hey, so like,
Where am I at?
we
on
doing
the
this
list?
or what? Yeah. Where am I at on the
Am
list?
I
Yeah.
number 5 now.
Right. Am I being like, how many roses am I getting? You know what I mean? That kind of thing. Am I getting a rose? Or being sent home? Anyway, whatever. So that was that story. That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fun.
That is.
Good luck, right? Yeah, I'm not holding my breath, obviously, guys. It's Twitter. Twitter is fake for the most part, but that was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mhm.
yeah, that's one story. The other story. Have you guys ever had someone be attached to you, but you don't really even know them that well? In any sense.
I don't,
know where
I don't
my
think I'm
mind-
friendly enough for that.
My mind goes straight to Michelle when we were talking earlier about your neighbor.
but I don't think he's.
Oh, please tell the listeners about that though. Tell the listeners about
Not a
tell
man.
the listeners. Tell the listeners, dude. The neighbor story. Holy crap.
Just had a very weird neighbor who just did not know about boundaries.
In New Jersey, right?
Yeah, in New Jersey, would just ask for everything, come over, just open the door, walk right in.
It was an older lady though.
She
It
was
wasn't-
probably
yeah.
in her 70s.
Yeah.
And she was a very odd lady. Would not wear pants half the time.
That's where it gets weird.
It is so weird.
And they always commented on like, you guys are both attractive. And,
Not that
right?
would ever be normal, but it made it extra weird
it
that she
extra
was like
weird, yeah.
70 years old. And yeah, commenting on how attractive we are and just very odd woman.
Yeah, I mean, just because they're
Don't
old,
recommend.
doesn't mean. Anyway, that's crazy. Wow. Yeah, I don't necessarily mean like that, I guess.
You mean more like
She wears pants, you know, so-
relationship-wise, like gosh.
I mean, in any sense, to be honest with you, because I don't really know what she
Oh,
thinks
okay.
at this point. I've already had the talk. We've already talked about this too, but I've already had the talk with her about like, hey, I am not interested in all that. Oh, we haven't talked about this. Oh yeah,
No, we
don't
haven't.
I'm so sorry,
I don't know
guys.
What you're talking about? This
Yeah, yeah.
is the one that you've talked to.
the guys
men
about. Yeah, I
about, but
talked to the
not us.
ATG men about it. Which, by the way, we need to talk about that. All of the comments on Instagram, all the replies were, "Y'all need your own name," and it was 6. Okay, it was 6 people. All right, let's be real clear here.
All
More
the
comments
All right.
than the men get, right?
Oh, it's
So-
more than
Okay.
That's all
0.
that matters.
No, you guys are way ahead of the game, honestly. But they all were men, and they all said yes, you need
Oh,
your own name.
really?
So I'm not sure if they were saying get the heck out of our pod, or if and it wasn't the men. It wasn't the
I
men.
hear what you're saying.
It wasn't the men. But I'm like, do they not like that I have ladies on? No, they don't care. They love it. I
could
guarantee
go,
they love
like,
it. But
either way, I guess.
it's all of the.
I don't
It's
know.
like listeners that I used to have on Toasty Podcast too. So they were like
Okay.
avid listeners, I guess, and they were like,
Hmm.
"Oh, name." I guess they like how I branch off stuff. However, it takes a lot of work, and I don't like doing that. So
Well, you do whatever you want.
no, what?
No?
No,
Oh,
for
okay.
He
y'all.
wants us to
Oh.
come up with a name.
If y'all want to do that, I'm just throwing it out there, and I will probably put a feeler out every single podcast episode. You know, like, hey, you guys feeling it yet? What are you guys thinking?
Oh, I thought you
You
meant
know?
like put a feeler out, like put a name out there and say like
Yeah.
what we think of it.
Yeah, I feel
Oh.
like
That's
that's a better
better, so we
idea.
don't have to make.
I could do that too. I think
Yeah.
the guys don't like that. I want to make y'all an own name.
Well, I think that the men should change their name since they're not quite gaining the traction we are.
Hey, yes.
Because you can have.
Wait a minute.
Like we're already taking off with this name,
Oh
and they're
my
not
gosh.
doing so well with it, so they can
Yeah.
figure something else
that way
out.
our fans don't get confused.
Yeah, we don't want to lose
Find
our
us.
following.
Wow. May the most followers win. Yeah, essentially.
Just saying.
Yeah, survival of the freaking fittest out here. Man, that's hilarious. Well, yeah, because we don't go like, we're not super technical on this podcast, and I love that. That's actually how I am. That's how I love doing it, and like it makes it a lot more fun to listen to in a way. So, yeah. Shout out to my other podcast. Get with the program. You know what I mean? What are we doing here? No, I'm kidding. But can you try to think back to before you were married? If someone asks to get coffee, is that pretty much a blatant, hey, I'm asking you out?
I think I don't know if it's like
I saw your face and I was like, she's just going to say it. Okay, all right.
asking out, but more like you're saying you're interested.
Yeah, I think
Right?
that's a clear
Yeah.
indicator.
It is
Yeah.
a clear
There's
indicator?
some interest
I don't know
there.
about date. Like,
Okay,
you
yeah,
could
yeah.
call
That's
it a
not-
date,
yeah.
I call it a
but that
date.
doesn't mean you're dating.
Very low
Yeah.
form of date.
Going out.
Very
Yeah.
low level date style. So indicator
I
of
would
interest.
say that's more like I mean,
friendly. Like I'm getting to know you, right? I don't know.
Yeah,
I
okay.
would say it implies that potentially more than friends.
I
is
would
maybe
say
a
that
thing.
too.
Is
Yeah.
there a way to not make that feel like a date or interest? Do you
I
have to
mean,
mention
think
business? Do you have to
group-
make it professional?
Group? Yeah.
things,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
you know, potentially business stuff could. But
Yeah.
it depends.
I think you're on the right track about the group thing. I think if this girl would have shown up to like our friend group rather than a coffee date, then it would have.
Yeah.
She would have taken it
Because if it's just
differently.
one on one.
Okay, so now is it
yeah.
different if now I asked you guys if a guy asked, right? Now is it different if a girl asks that? Is it almost more of an indicator because a girl is asking you to get coffee? Or is it less of an indicator because a girl is asking you to get coffee?
I don't know. I never.
Like if a girl was asking me, or the fact
What?
that a girl asked
Right.
you.
A girl asked me.
Yeah,
I'm trying to
yeah.
no,
I would
yeah.
still say that is.
Yeah, you all
say
had a lesbian
interest
phase,
thing.
right?
I wasn't sure where you were going with that.
Like you could just be friends. But no, I would still say that would. I would
the same
assume she
applies.
has interests.
Yes.
romantic
Yeah, definitely.
interests.
Cool. Those were my
Yeah.
assumptions as well.
You know.
So I
think-
avoided these coffee dates, coffee whatevers. We're fine there. We're good. That's fine. Somebody come back in.
bed at night, and then one of your phones on the nightstand just goes ding, 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 and you're like, "What does Skye want?" What the heck? Does that not
Hold up.
happen?
Has that
Yeah, and we
happened?
get it on both sides because my phone and his
I
phone
know.
and the Snapchat. You know, and normally there's a few more on Jordan's side because then it's the
Because
Discord.
the Discord,
You know,
yeah.
you got
Hold up a
Discord.
second.
Sure.
Before we go into this roasting sesh, hold on a second. I have to say something. So I assume that every normal human being has a do not disturb and they have it on at night.
We
I don't know
do
how to
that.
do
If
that.
there's
I
an
don't do
emergency,
that.
I
Oh,
want
I
to be
know.
disturbed.
Yeah, correct. I'd never
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah, am I
Mine's
going to
on
give you an
full
emergency?
blast at
You block
night.
my number at
No,
night.
but
Like, I mean,
you can't
like-
put it on one person, can you?
You can change who you allow get
I
through.
don't know. That's-
Well, I don't know about
I don't
Android.
know.
Android
That
may
seems
not. I
advanced.
doubt
I
it.
don't know.
Android's features, very minimal.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm
That
just
was a sidetrack. So you
No, you're
you
good.
did
That's
your normal
hilarious.
with her where you sent
Well, now what I'm about to say makes zero sense because it's like the exact same thing, right?
she did this to you.
But we don't know each other at all. Okay, I don't trust me, guys. I know it's hard for you to trust me at this point, but I can say that I don't do that to people that I don't really know that well, right?
I have no
I
proof
mean,
of that.
How would
yeah,
I
I
have
don't
any
either.
friends?
Well, you have many that you do that to. And they're still
Well, we're
friends
already
with
like
you.
good friends, so I've like already trapped you, as a
Oh,
friend.
Okay.
Well, Well, I
That
think
sounded
none
very
of
weird.
us-
Okay, I don't know how to
none
describe
of us
that.
really had a choice, right? Like Nolan knew you from.
Oh my
the start.
gosh.
Yeah.
So then
that's
it was
true.
just like before we
really
we
were
never
trapped.
had kind of. I mean, Nolan's around, Skye's around.
Trapped by proxy. Okay. All right. Enough about Skye. Holy crap. Let's. I'm a nice
Yeah.
person. I
You're in
can't.
a
I
bit of
know,
a
but some
pickle.
people don't understand nice,
Yeah,
and they think, oh, they're interested.
that's true.
Wow.
Yeah.
How are you so real right now? Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I've
please
never
tell me.
seen you like I. Don't take this the wrong way, but I've not seen you like with girls other than us a lot. You know what I mean? Like somebody you're
Oh,
interested
I don't
in.
bring girls around for us for y'all to see.
Exactly.
Honestly, yeah.
That's why I'm like, well, maybe you're like, maybe you act different.
Okay, here's what I'll say though.
Like-
Most of the first dates I've been on in the past freaking 2 years have been terrible, right? Because it's been
Right.
dating apps and people I find on the streets, you know what I mean? And when I say streets, I don't mean like the freaking homeless Magnolia regulars, you know? I mean like the people that are at bars and stuff, you know? It doesn't go well, obviously, right? I wanted to know how I act and if I lead people on and if I am flirty.
Oh, okay.
And I asked this chick and I was like, did I lead you on in any way? Or did you understand my intent whenever I said, let's get drinks because I want to know more about your story? You know?
Mhm.
And she's like, oh, no, I didn't feel that on at all. This is normal. I'm like, oh.
Well, what's
Okay.
she supposed to say?
Well, if you get drinks, I mean, isn't that indicator of interest?
Right.
Were
no,
you
I'm
not
saying,
interested?
No, not at all.
But I mean, in that, if you asked me out and then asked me that question, if I were her, I'd be like, oh no, I didn't think you I thought this was just casual.
pressure.
More because that's
You
super
were playing
awkward
off.
for her. Yeah.
Well, here's the good part. She told me a story beforehand where this guy led her on dramatically, and she had to finally give up on this person, and it was a terrible situation for her apparently. And I was like, okay, well, hold on a second. I want to make
Yeah.
something clear here. Did I do that to you, and do you feel
Okay.
led on? And what do you think this is, right?
Yeah.
Because I thought maybe she brought up that story, and I'm like, oh no, she's talking about past boys, and you know what that means. You know, when a girl talks about, well, okay, let me ask y'all this: when a girl talks about past relationships on a first date, and talks about maybe bad parts about them, is she saying that to tell you that so you know for the future? Is it a possibility?
It could be.
Yeah.
Wow.
She
Okay,
could've
you
It
guys are
depends
the,
how much she talks about it and what level of detail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she could have been confused, is it a date? Is it not a date? And then said that story,
To
so
try
she
and
wasn't
see.
led on. And
Okay.
then when you said that,
Okay.
it cleared it up for her.
okay. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Okay. Good. Great.
I
Awesome.
don't know.
Point
Or
is,
it
at the
could've
end of
just
it,
been a random story.
well, at the end of it, she's cool. She's like, "This is great, thanks," and that was it. You know, it was fine. We had a good time. We hung out. We talked. She told me the rest of her story, which is freaking crazy. By the way, it was awesome. And since then, she's been fine. So those are two literally the
Completely
extremes,
different.
right? Because
Yeah.
I actually went somewhere and did something with this girl, and then she didn't think that it was a big deal. So I was like, "Oh, okay." All that to say,
Is that your past 3 weeks summed up?
yeah, wildly different situations, yeah, in all aspects of life, I guess. But Twitter girl, you know,
That
Let's-
one to me was the
let's
most
hold out.
Intriguing, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I still have a church crush too. I'm waiting on that.
Okay.
Haven't even
We're holding out
freaking
hope for that one.
met her. Yeah, yeah. Man, if anyone at Paradox is listening, you know, help your boy.
Oh, man.
Kidding, obviously, kidding. Am I boring you, Kara? No, I'm just kidding.
I'm just
She's like,
yawning so
Thirsty.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm
Well, I
kidding.
would just have heartburn.
Oh, same. Well, we ate a pizza. So that's a poor decision.
What?
So the water kind of calms you, you know.
Oh, I don't think I have any Tums. Dang it. I'm sorry.
I really should. I don't know why I don't have any.
2 more weeks.
Why would you?
Because I nonstop.
Oh,
all
right,
day.
nonstop.
But I don't
Dang,
think I'm
that's
whipping.
crazy.
So I'm just drinking the water,
All right.
yawning. You know.
All right, cool. I was kidding. You're good. So this one is just the dates that have gone wrong, and we can end it after this if y'all want. If you don't have anything else to bring up, you know, any thing you want to talk about, like news or whatever, anything new?
I think we're all just waiting.
Really? Oh my gosh. Okay.
Well, I think
for
y'all are in the waiting period, but I'm not. I got a ways to go.
for the audience, I will say that these ladies are pretty much about to burst.
I don't
Apparently.
feel.
Well,
I hope I'm not.
Kara's due when?
Like 2.5 weeks.
Oh,
So-
okay. Not okay. Okay. Well, still, yeah, pretty close, right?
I mean,
Could it happen at any moment? Is that how they say
yeah.
that?
That's where we're
Yeah.
at. It's like it could be, tomorrow, or it could be.
And
Yeah.
Michelle is what, the month
3.5
after that?
4 weeks.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
4 weeks, and then you are 2 months.
No, I think I've got like 3. At
3 months,
least.
really?
Yeah.
You were way later than them. I didn't know that.
4 weeks. So
I thought it all happened on the same weekend. I'm just
No.
kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
no, like I feel like much further back, even though I guess in reality I'm really not. But I don't know.
Yeah,
Once they
you're-
have their babies, then I'll be a little more
Just a
like,
few
oh,
months.
yeah, we're actually like coming up on it. Yeah,
Mm. Nice. Okay.
it'll be fun.
Yeah. Cool.
Good time.
Well, that's where we're at with that. So yes, I met a girl, and it was a setup. Essentially, another girl came up and asked if I was single, and I was like, yes. And she said, okay. And then she's like, I have a friend. You should meet her. Here's her Instagram. I'm like, okay. What's this for? And she's like, so you can like DM her or something. I'm like, oh no, that's not how I do things. I was like, how about I actually meet her, since she also goes to this church. So, so, all right, okay, all right. Anyway, so, golly, dude, my life is public, okay? So if you guys, are mad at me for that, I apologize, but it is who I am. Anyway, and so I was like, cool, yeah. So like, a couple Sundays go by, and finally I get a chance, it was a chance to meet her or whatever, and I called her the wrong name. It was a close name.
Oh, yeah.
It was similar.
You did tell me the story.
But, I told you the story because I was freaking out about it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, what have I done? Right, okay.
And she did not take it well, right?
It seems like it.
Yeah.
Either that.
Oh,
Okay, hold on a
I
second.
think I
Hold on a
know-
second. What?
Okay. I think this was a few weeks ago, right?
Yeah, this was. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, then we have another hangout.
I was
can
wondering
keep it short.
what happened at this.
Oh, more
for it
happened
to go.
after?
Yeah, so we have another
Okay,
hangout.
see, I don't think I know
Oh,
this
I didn't
part.
know
We have
Okay.
another hangout, and I think the chick that was trying to set us up invited me just because of that. I think, but I'm not positive. However, it seems like this chick that I was supposed to be set up with is interested in another guy, first of all. And second of all, it seemed like she didn't want to have a conversation. So I was like, I think that she's not interested. Pretty clear to me, right?
If she didn't want to
Yeah.
have a conversation.
So this is the
Yeah.
long story short. No. Moral of the story for me is like when you're setting somebody up, like be sure like both parties are even ready for that or interested in it.
I would think that's her.
Or
close
I just
friend?
ruined it because I talked too much or something. I don't know.
If it's her friend that she's setting you up with, I would think that she's interested. I wouldn't set my friend up
then
with
maybe-
somebody
yeah,
if she.
Maybe I did ruin it,
meeting
though.
you, like,
She's like, oh my
was
God.
just not
Oh, this is not what I
into it.
expected. Oh no. Yeah, right.
No, but then
That's
she
very true.
invited you again.
She didn't. Well, her
Well,
friend
Her
did.
friend did, but
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like, I wouldn't keep inviting.
She could have been just
Yeah.
nah, but she could have been just being
I'd
nice.
Be talking to my friend.
She could have just been being nice. I'm not gonna take that like that, Maybe you're right,
You just never.
I
know.
also-
she could be trying to play hard to get and like not.
Yeah, I'm not
really-
playing that game. But I also
Well,
right, but I also when I got there apologized again for that same thing. And maybe me
For the name?
Yeah, maybe me reiterating it does something and it's like brings it up again, brings up old news and you're like, "Oh no." But I felt weird about it, so I was like, "Hey, I'm sorry about this." Kind of weird.
I think
My
it's
bad.
weird that she took it so personally, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Coming
don't think
from
it's that big
someone
of a
where
deal.
people like
Well-
say
well,
my
maybe
name
she-
wrong
okay.
all the time.
Yeah.
Like you can't get offended at that. It's not
Yeah.
intentional.
Okay, but you
Even
guys
just
have been
mixing
around me-
people up. I mean,
You guys have been around me whenever I over care. How do I say that right? I'm over courteous to the point where you get annoyed. Does that happen to y'all? Ever?
Like
I don't think
with
I've been
you.
annoyed
Holy crap.
about it.
I don't know.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, weird. I guess I think sometimes that I'm very worried about one specific thing that I may have said or did. And so like I'll constantly like bring it up again, right? Like, hey,
kinda
I'm
like
so sorry.
Earlier for the
Literally that event, right? That's literally
like, I
that's a
didn't
good example.
remember it.
It's a good example, right?
Yeah.
So that being, I guess it's not really a flaw to me, but however I do it, it does happen, right? That being said, I could definitely see myself doing this. That's why I said I think I ruined it, but whatever. I could definitely see myself doing this, and maybe I beat a dead horse, and then she's too much.
She's just like over it.
Right?
Yeah.
Because it's the same scenario as me getting weirded out by freaking a multi-texter, you know?
I don't know. I feel like a lot of people would
Maybe,
get weirded out by
but-
that.
If one of the guys set you up with that multi-texter, they wouldn't keep inviting you guys to all hang out
Yeah.
because they would know that you were weirded out by it.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You know?
Yeah, I do see what you're saying. I
That's
think
why
that
I
maybe
feel
she
like-
just was trying one more time. It definitely hasn't happened
Yeah.
since then. It's been 3 weeks. So I'm good with
Well-
that. We're cool. But I think that maybe it was one last try or whatever,
Yeah.
you know? The old college try. Yeah, the point is I ruined that one. I'm not worried about it, but dang, man. Wow. Holy crap. I just get so psyched up. Like whenever someone sets me up, it's a different situation, you know?
Mm.
It's like you gotta be like, you gotta be ready, you know? It's weird.
New gene edit. Just CRISPR me up, bro.
me some sugar, baby.
This is for the fly guys.
This is a complete disaster.